Hello, and welcome to Albany by Night. I'm Chris Bernal, aka Crifu, and I am the storyteller for this Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. Tonight is the end of Albany. It's just always fun to say. But yes, this is the series finale for Albany by Night. We've had a great time playing through this chronicle this year, and as well as the second season. And I know that there are plenty more vampire stories to tell. But before I go any further, let's introduce the cast for this tonight's finale.
My name is Richard, and I'll be playing Serge, a Toreador.
And I'm Marcy, and I'm guesting tonight, and I'm playing Amelia Borden, a Ventru.
My name is Sarah. I play Rhea, the current Prince of Albany, and she is also a Ventru.
And I'm Scott. I'm playing Nick, the gangrel and beleaguered Sheriff of Albany.
Beleaguered.
Yes.
Indeed, 2 weeks ago, the attack on Albany began with an opening salvo from a Semiche monster named Reka. We took them out, as well as their flayed dogs. But there have been more incidents since then. Indeed, I think all of the Kindred in Albany have been fighting off attacks on their own individual domains. So, without further ado, I would like to welcome you all to Albany by Night. We see a train rattling up the rails north along the right side of the Hudson River. The camera pans up and out. We see the train zoom ahead into Renslayer, a small township on the eastern side of the Hudson, dark. Its buildings squat and low and dim. And as the camera pans to the west, we see bright downtown Albany, almost garish in comparison. The camera flies low over the river and up into the skyscrapers and into a luxe condo hallway. We see two people walking. One of them is a man, pale, almost a grayish tint to his skin, light brown hair and a brown goatee and glasses. He's wearing a denim shirt with a flowery bow tie. He's walking next to the Prince of Albany. Rhea, what does the camera see when we pan across you?
So, of course, it always starts at the shoes, because everything starts at the shoes. Always the Louboutins with the red bottoms, panning up, very prim and proper with the A-line skirt, always business professional with a silk top, usually jewel toned. I believe tonight she is wearing a emerald green, and then she looks about 28, and has a light blonde hair, and typically worn in a low pony.
Both of these people look to be quite young, but their stance, walk, and demeanor denotes an age, a wisdom beyond their apparent age.
Old souls.
The man, Danny, speaks. We're meeting here? Your place?
Yes, you've been here before.
Right, I've been here.
Yes.
But everyone else?
Well, there's not a lot of safe spots in Albany since most of them have gotten hit by the Sabbat lately, and this is the last one I trust.
Why? You think following the leaders of the Kindred of Albany to your place is going to keep this space safe?
It's going to be fine. Believe me, I didn't invite anyone I didn't want here. Stop at the doorknob. Trust me. It's safe. I have security. Open into the apartment.
We see a luxe, minimalist interior, well decorated, and we see a woman seated on a chaise lounge. What does she look like?
Amelia has wearing just a little black number tonight. Her hair is short but curled in a very 1920s style bob that never goes out of fashion. She's wearing flat shoes for now, lovely little headband, just the teeniest bit of rhinestones through it. She is traveling after all. And she's trying to be more subdued, I'd say, than her usual fare, which is still quite gaudy, shall we say, for the setting. But she's also quite short, and she looks to be about 19 and 20 or 20. It's hard to say.
Okay.
Very young.
As soon as we see you, Danny... Amelia!
Darlings! I came as quickly as I could.
Well, it took you long enough to break through my security.
Yes, a very amusing challenge, but it was the work of a moment.
I didn't know. He changes. Hello. And he comes in.
So good to see you.
Requests his hand.
Yes.
And then kisses it.
Make yourself at home. I have some business to attend to in my study for 1 second before everybody arrives.
Of course.
Uh.
By the time you need it, is your home after all.
Okay.
There's blood in the fridge. There's some for you.
She knows. I'm not surprised.
Oh, we had plenty of time to talk when we last met. And how are you, dear? You look dreadfully pale.
The last few nights have been busy. No time to feed.
Oh, sounds awful. Well, I've heard that there was a bit of a kerfuffle, but I have to admit it was quite vague in the letter that I was sent. Perhaps you might be able to fill me in just a bit.
A letter? Rhea didn't tell me you were coming.
Yes, just a spot of additional security that I could provide.
It's good to see you.
It is good to see you too, my dear.
Are you staying long?
That entirely depends on the circumstances, I think. I never stay long anywhere, you know that.
Sure, but things aren't safe here for you. For any of us, Amelia, and I know you're not the fighting kind, you're the flying kind.
Well, if things were safe all the time, we never had proper opportunities for change. And I sense that there's been a great deal of turmoil.
You heard about what happened 2 weeks ago?
Not in any great detail.
Rhea had told me about some of the things they've seen the last year here, but I haven't dealt with a lot of Tamiche. You know them?
Do I?
You've heard of them. I don't know how much you know about them. You know they're Sabbat, for sure.
Here and there, rumors and whispers, things spoken about. They gave you a bit of trouble, did they?
They attacked.
Oh.
We were fine, but I know that Nick, the sheriff, he's been working overtime these nights.
Well, then it is a good thing that I've arrived, isn't it?
I'm sure Rhea, was gonna feel comforted by your extra forces.
I do hope that that's the case. I do so like to have friendship rewarded and be in places that I'm asked to be.
Well, you know you're more than welcome to be in my place.
Well, if things go well, we can revisit that conversation.
Where are you staying?
Here for now.
Ah, I see. Well, I'll keep that in mind then.
Do.
And he goes to sit next to you, and the camera like pans behind, like between their heads, and all we see is his hand lay on your knee.
Very bold.
And the camera pans out through the balcony and like spins around and zooms like flies Spider-Man through the streets of downtown Albany. You know what I mean. You knew instantly what I meant as soon as I said it. And into another room through another balcony. Serge, who do we see?
Serge has gotten fairly good at painting. But he still is very much an actor playing the role of an anarchist painter. So there's really, there's paint stains in places that there don't, that would not normally be paint stains just for dramatic effect. And he is finishing the portrait of an older man in a style that has become sort of signature to him, in which he puts together bits of animal shapes to sort of form like a portrait of someone. So, and he's finishing off a moth wing that completes two moth wings that complete the man's eyes. And you can see various pieces of various insects that shape his body, and his mouth is a rat. Just the open mouth of a rat. He's painting Trent, the private investigator who's been bothering him.
Who's been obsessed with him.
He's been very obsessed. And who did sit for a portrait some weeks ago. And then I think as it pans out, you see definitely people sort of bustling in the background, taking paintings off, or taking canvases off their frames, rolling them up, packing small amounts of things in bags. Lots of things are just sort of left on the shelf. As you see a tall red-haired man telling people to leave things. Take those things, leave those things. And they're all very harried-looking art students.
Harried,
because they're dealing with Trevor, my child and retainer,
right?
Who is very bossy.
He is,
except to Serge.
He comes over after no, drop those. We don't care about those books. And he comes over and his hand stops gently on your shoulder. Darling, we should probably go soon, no?
We are waiting, as I instructed, until we find inspiration for when we're going to make our exit. At the appropriate time.
Sometimes it's better to just ghost.
And sometimes, as you know well, ghosting is what gets people to follow you. As you know very, very well. Correct, Trevor?
When you ghosted me, I couldn't.
Trevor, we're going to make a dramatic exit from Albany. And I haven't decided exactly what our cue for that exit will be.
Do I need confetti cannons?
Oh, no. No. Would you feel more comfortable if I sent you ahead?
No.
Well, then, if we're good at this exit, we're not going to need any props or costumes. They'll just be talking about our performance for years.
I'll follow your lead.
Trust me.
He looks around, and one of the last students steps out carrying a big box of things down to the car. As soon as you're alone, he grabs you around the waist and pulls you up, chest to chest. He looks deep into your eyes.
Trevor, we had this discussion about who's in charge around here, didn't we?
this collar you have around me. It drives me crazy.
The collar I have around you drove you crazy years ago. Isn't that true?
It's only tighter now that you've killed me. And I can't tell if it's still my love for you or if it's something else now.
As if my blood flowed in your veins.
I'm not complaining.
You're not going to go old. If you play your cards right, you won't ever die.
You've got powers that I don't.
We've said, Trevor, I was not nearly as powerful when I first turned. You'll learn.
Will I?
Learn.
Can you make a bluff check?
Yeah.
Because you know something he doesn't know. And that is that Trevor's a thin blood.
Right.
That he is of the 14th generation. And will be incapable of the feats that you are capable of. So we're going to call this subterfuge and manipulation.
And anything over a 6, that is...
A success. 6 and over.
Okay, and I
Don't
did
forget
not...
you're beautiful also.
Yeah, I've already got 4 successes.
Okay. And so he's just... I'm sure with your teaching, I'll learn.
I adjust his bangs just slightly to make them a little scruffier. Like the people I'm planning for us to go see are not into the beauty of outward appearance, Trevor. You're going to have to show them the true you inside.
What does that mean?
You've never met Mimi, have you?
No.
Well, Trevor, sometimes to find true beauty, you have to find things that everyone else thinks are ugly, even perhaps terrifying.
We're going to...
You have a strong spine, don't you, Trevor?
Yeah.
Then you'll be fine in Bushwick.
We're going to Brooklyn to find ugliness?
We're going to Brooklyn to find friends, Trevor. Remember, we're nothing without our friends.
Whatever you say. He nods.
Have I ever led you wrong, Trevor? Except in letting you trust Nick and Rhea?
I don't know. I thought those were your friends. But...
We hadn't really had a chance to have a conversation about that.
I guess they're not that good as a friend if you're leaving them.
We're not ghosting them, though.
No.
And you should enjoy that. It's the closest we're going to get to revenge for now. For what they did to you.
Okay. He nods. And the camera pans and zooms out once more. Where is Nick?
Nick's coming into the condo. He actually has, remember his...
house.
Well, Nick's apartment is in the same building.
Right, it's a couple floors lower.
A couple floors lower.
Not as luxe or luxurious.
Yeah, it's fine. He's coming out of the elevator. He is walking up. He is wearing probably a t-shirt and jeans. He's got a black wool overcoat, but he only has it over... He only has one arm in the sleeve. The other one is draped over his shoulder. And he's walking with purpose towards the door. I think he's got a key. I think he probably lets himself in. Totally. And he comes in, and with no real surprise, he surveys the room. I guess he sees Danny and Amelia.
Mm-hmm.
Making out on the couch?
not making out, but so human and immature.
He throws off his coat. He reveals Nick is a tall, dark-haired man, probably in his late 30s, appearing to be in his late 30s. He's unremarkably handsome in that kind of way. As he throws off his coat, he also is revealing a slung Brunelli combat shotgun folded up, which is a new addition to his current loadout. And his right arm, which was not in the sleeve, is torn. He appears to have taken some kind of wound, but his skin is torn like paper with no blood coming from beneath. So it has this kind of creepy, as if he's the artifice, as if you were to wound a corpse. He throws his coat down. He throws the shotgun onto the couch probably next to where you guys are sitting.
Well, hello.
Hi.
Nick.
Yeah.
You remember Amelia from
do.
Brooklyn?
Yeah, remember. He reveals his hand. It's dirty, and his nail beds are have caked, clotting blood in them. And he goes, I spent yesterday in the woods dealing with a situation that the gang were dealing with, and I had the pleasure of sleeping in a hole that I had to dig before dawn.
Sucks.
Yeah, sucks, yes. And who's the genius who decided to hold court here?
That would be me. I enter back into the room.
She's followed by a dark-skinned young man in a pinstripe suit, Luther.
This is the last safe place in Albany as of that we know it. Don't worry, I won't live here after we have this meeting.
Fair enough.
We're moving. Luther is but
Don't
we didn't
worry.
pack.
It's fine. We don't need anything.
Okay.
We have people for that. Turn to you. Rip a check. I believe I owe you this for Danny's debts.
Thank you.
Hold
yes.
up another check. You're going to need this in days to come.
And you'll find that a score of my father's top security team are currently forming a perimeter as we speak, as
Great.
requested.
Thank you. Meta, she just went to she had received a blank check from the Ventru from New York, and has now deposited it with a undisclosed number into her account and has started thinking of the future.
Okay. She looks straight at the camera when she says, "The future."
What do I need a check for?
Just, you might want to put it in a safe place, just for now.
Fine, but where are you
takes
going?
it properly.
You usually cut the checks.
I know, and I'm cutting you this one for now.
Okay. So we're holding court in your haven. You're not familiar with shitting
Not
and
a
eating.
haven. I'm not going to be here for that much longer. Don't worry about it. I have real estate elsewhere. It's fine.
Well, I'm glad it's fine. It doesn't feel fine.
Is Danny
Well,
says,
the bank's not safe, and we know that.
is this everyone then?
No, there's more to come. And before you all freak out, I also invited the Technomancers.
Oh, great.
No man says.
Their haven has also been attacked. They deserve to know what's going on in its full depth.
I mean,
They are part of Albany, and they're part of our force. Everyone is invited. I'm hoping Sarge gets here sometime soon, though.
Luther nods. He should be on his way.
Great. Well, everybody should be coming in shortly.
This is great. Who else are we invited?
Exciting.
Yes, you get to meet all of the players of Albany.
Is there enough space in here? The intercom goes off.
Nick, would you get that?
Yeah, as I'm walking towards the intercom, I grab my shotgun off the couch.
Yeah, you can see through the camera.
Yeah.
It's Sarge, Luther's sire, an older-looking a black man who is wearing a black leather jacket, bald-shaved head. You stood shoulder to shoulder with him 2 weeks ago, and probably fought with him a week ago at the derail.
We've probably been doing stuff.
The two of you have been
Right.
helping each other.
So I hit the button like, so would you invite any werewolf
None of
members
this.
are no okay.
What a shame.
I
never
know.
get to spend a lot
Could have
of
had
time
fun
with them.
party.
Alliance of the Sabbat. I don't know that we are bringing mortals with powers we don't understand here. These are some desperate fucking times.
Well, did they
you
even?
were the one who slept in a hole last night. Yes, I can hear in my study. I have things.
But so they accepted?
I haven't heard. We'll find out if they show up.
Huh.
They left their names with the doorman.
A moment later, I guess a minute or two, you're high up. Elevators aren't instant. Sarge, the Harpy of Renslayer, walks through the door. Prince Rhea, Sheriff,
Sarge.
everyone else.
Melly. Oh.
Are you okay?
I'm doing just fine.
My liege.
Melia, this is Sarge.
Amelia. Amelia.
Amelia.
Amelia,
I
yeah.
said Amelia.
Are you okay?
It was
Yeah,
fine.
I heard Amelia.
I said Amelia.
I heard Mylia.
Miley to her friends.
But you bring in another harpy to replace me?
She's not a harpy. She's just a fellow adventurer friend who was sent up here from New York to help.
Pleasure to meet you.
And you might want
Great.
to wipe that whole thing off of your face. Just please. For once.
Goes over to a chair and just crosses his arm. Sits down.
Right. Your daddy did not replace you. He replaced Christine. There must be 2 harpies of Albany.
Yeah, you need someone to keep track of the direct on the other side of the river, right?
Right.
Come on, man.
It's been a rough couple nights.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Have you had any more attacks recently?
Yeah.
Is it an every night occurrence now?
No.
Hey, have you tried throwing money at them? Because that's we've got extra Ventru backup, so that should help.
Are you saying that our security humans are just disposable?
I'm saying
They're not?
we need less effective, and it's a Camarilla. It's the masquerade. Any person we bring into play who's not one of us will see things, and we have to keep things quiet. And
Wait, so was that sarcasm or not? Sarge says.
Lots
'Cause
of money can keep things quiet.
if you're offering money, I'll take it.
All right.
yeah, I got a check here.
Nope, you keep that.
Okay.
Here you go.
There are a couple gangs that I could hire.
It's for $100,000.
Guess what happens though? We bring in gang activity.
Doesn't
You know
say
what
a
that?
fucking word. Just puts it in his jacket.
Sorry.
We're throwing money at the problem. You know what that does? Creates a larger profile. We bring a gang situation. Maybe an FBI task force comes in. Suddenly we've got a complete masquerade situation going on, which would just be, so instead of having the Sabbat take us over, we've got humans understanding what's going on and will wipe us out.
I don't think that's going to be a problem.
You seem really tense, dear. Try like rolling the shoulders for a bit. Give it a breathe.
Sounds like a human problem.
Surge.
I was specifically waiting for Sarge to go in
Okay.
because I did not want to be the first Anarch in the room.
Okay.
Even though Sarge is not technically supposed to be an Anarch anymore.
He's totally flipped his script.
But we all know we're his clans.
He is in the minority.
And also friends with Fiona, who famously...
Right. But
went
you
up-
missed last week, or the last episode, where he denounced her.
He did.
I know, but...
Oh, shit.
He's also
Okay.
been the only person who can control her.
Correct. Okay, but good to know. So, Sarge has entered. Were you waiting in like a car somewhere, like nearby?
I think I'm not that far away.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I was just waiting on a street corner,
Hanging out.
enjoying a cigarette, which I can do.
Nice. I can't
Show
do that.
off. Oh.
Anyway.
Are you coming in?
So yeah, I think I'm gonna... So shortly after Sarge rings the buzzer, I will ring the buzzer.
I like to imagine that you open up the window and be like, what are you doing?
So yeah, during this conversation where he's like, "I'll take money. I can hire people." Around that point, the intercom goes off again.
I gotta walk over this time. I'm like, I would have preferred some werewolves, and I pressed the button to let him in.
You see Surge.
Don't be so dramatic. Great. Good. Once Surge
With
gets...
Trevor?
Yeah, I don't know the Technomancers are gonna be there, so I'll bring Trevor.
Okay.
Once Serge gets up, I would like to make an announcement before anyone else arrives.
Okay.
All right. I open it. Like I have the door open. As
Is she
you're coming
crying?
off the elevator.
She's just changing.
I know, but I'm like, she clawing that couch? I know her.
For our viewers out there, Chris has a problem with Daisy clawing the couch.
Mm-hmm.
The real star of the show over there.
Yeah.
Moments later, Serge and Trevor arrive.
Fantastic. Welcome. Welcome. Make yourselves at home. We have plenty of space.
I make sure Trevor sits, and then I sort of just stand. And I inch closer to Bruja.
Sarge.
Yeah. Did he bring anyone with him?
No,
Okay.
he's alone.
Well, now that we have the main people of Albany minus, well, Donna, who's run off to Buffalo, as far as we know, and also Mimi, who I believe is somewhere back in New York, for now, doing a task. Since all of these attacks have happened in Albany, I've called you all here because, as far as we know, no other Elysium is safe. This is our last haven. And I am fully aware, by opening up my doors, I'm opening them up to vulnerabilities, which is fine because I would like to make an announcement that I am no longer going to be Prince. Yes. Sarge, you are no longer going to be a Harvey. When the previous prince was killed, it should have been you. It should not have been me. And to replace you should be Serge. I feel like Albany could use 2 Toreador Harpies. And Serge does like to keep his thumb on the pulse of his surroundings.
What?
You were fighting for it the entire time. Don't act like you didn't want it.
Fighting for what?
A Harpy ship. You wanted Christine.
Dead?
Because you wanted her position.
You don't understand me.
Clearly. If you see someone better, Sarge, if you see someone more fit, please do put them up for this seat.
You?
No.
Where are you going?
I cannot fight the battle of the Sabbat and pursue my true placement in New York whilst maintaining a princeship here. It's just too much. I cannot do it. I do not know the history.
So you're fleeing.
I'm not fleeing. I'm going to fight the battle, and I can't do it while being prince. I put others at risk.
And I'm supposed to do it instead? Fight and reign?
I believe you are more suited, yes.
You think I've shown wise judgment?
I believe you've trusted your friends, and your friends have trusted you back.
And I have fallen because of that.
Well, now you know better judgment. I've also done the same.
And what if I say no? I'm not claiming Praxis.
Then we'll have to figure something out, because I can't do this anymore. I have the Venture of New York breathing down my neck, and I cannot be a good prince while trying to maintain my clanship.
Danny, who's next to Amelia, is like, Rhea, the only reason I came down here was because you're a prince. I'm not coming for anyone else. I gave up shit in Brooklyn. Gave up a position of power, of status. For what?
Well, now you're free.
Great. This is fucking great. I go to the fridge and grab another bag of blood.
Alright, we didn't roll hunger tonight.
No, we did not.
None of you truly wanted me prince at first. Sarge, you wanted to take it for yourself. Serge, you've been doing everything to undermine me from day one. And
what about me? Did I not want it?
No, you've been standing.
You volunteered her.
Yeah.
You volunteered me, and also.
Oh, I get it. No one who mattered wanted to be prince. No, say no more. I'll be over
Nick,
here.
you stood by me graciously through everything,
Well,
and
then
it's been
now,
fantastic.
now I stand alone.
You never stand alone. This way I can fight with you without having to deal with everything else.
Are you the prince anymore?
I don't know.
If you want someone to be prince and not fight, what about Francesca? Luca's child, the daughter of the previous prince.
She left town.
She was also an ally of Christine Zhao.
She did not participate in the assassination attempt.
I can't imagine that Francesca had any intentions to hurt people. She was manipulated. The girl has always been simple.
Well, you'd know her better than anyone.
And that's who we need as a prince in a time of war?
How about Amelia? You want to be prince? How about we fucking do get a reality TV show going for this?
And I think Amelia's been very quietly in the corner, sipping like this glass of blood, just watching.
Promised you drama.
The bickering. You need somebody to rule who doesn't necessarily fight. You need to send your fighters elsewhere. You seem to have a dearth of friends or people that are willing to step into such a vacuum of power. Now it'd be uncouth for me to simply enter here.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I don't want you to be prince. I'm just saying, maybe
You don't know me as well as you think.
I don't know anybody as well as I think. Obviously,
I don't think Amelia would be a bad prince.
Yeah, sure.
I know more people than are assumed. I keep my ear to the ground. I like to know things before other people do. I like to send that information to my friends wherever possible, especially if there are conflicts sprouting up all over. Assassination attempts, it sounds like. Backstabbing in other places. Allies that are not there when you need them. Now, who was here when you came calling and actually brought help when requested?
I wouldn't say you're the first, but you're the one that I've enjoyed the company of the most.
Oh, thank you, dear.
Some Bruja morons out at this edge of town who are, getting into fistfights with each other, I imagine, as we speak, because they've got nothing better to do.
I mean, Danny looks over. Rain and his people went north, behind enemy lines, he said.
And what's going on from the Chantry? Who's here from the Tremere right now?
Well, the regent's been back in New York for weeks.
Right.
And Herschel...
I know where Herschel is. Okay. So the plan is you leave.
I'm not leaving.
You tactically retreat. We leave whomever wants the job in place. And this is a pawn sacrifice in your chess game? Albany?
It's not a chess game. A chess game is something that you plan and you play. This is not a game.
So we like checkers? We're doing like a Connect Four? What are we
Nick,
talking?
since when have you turned against me?
When did I turn against you?
You've known that this is something that I didn't want to do.
I thought we were... Albany's where we fight. Albany's why we brought Danny in. This is where the battle is.
And what were they yelling when they were running through the streets last 2 weeks ago? They were calling my name as they were just coming into the city. And I can't handle that. They came in to kill us under my name.
I know. So you think that they're going to leave us alone now?
No. But at least I won't be the one who causes people to die. People won't die in my name. I can't. That's not what I signed up for. I signed up to bring a city together, not watch it fall apart under my rule.
I tore Smiche heart out. I had blood up to my fucking elbows. I'm aware of what the sacrifices that are being made here. And you're saying, when have I turned against you? I serve the Prince of Albany. Who the fuck are you?
The person you volunteered me to be.
Yes. So I guess this is all my mistake.
It's not your mistake.
Well, then, I called you to be the Prince of Albany. Was that the right move?
Might have been for the time, but I don't think it is for what's going in the future.
Okay.
I never planned to stay in Albany.
Serge, you have a vision. Let me look up aspects real quick, because I think if it can just happen.
Yeah, you can have.
Ooh.
At
You
any
can always
time.
declare that I
I'd
have
love-
one.
Yep.
Love
This power gives a character a sudden hint that aids them in some way. Great. So, as they're arguing...
I'm standing on Trevor because I've just promised him
Right.
that we're going to see them embarrass themselves, and I didn't even plan this.
So, as
I'm not gonna let that go.
they're arguing, your eyes kind of like flash and roll
Let's
up
do this
back
thing.
into their heads, into your head. And you see Nick kneeling at the feet, the bare feet of a woman in some sort of slacks. Oh, like old-timey slacks, like several decades old, on a marbled floor that looks very similar to the interior of the Empire State Plaza. You come back.
I just turn and look at Nick very meaningfully. You were saying?
I'm not really a person with words so much.
Well, you've had plenty of them tonight.
Fair enough. So I guess are you in charge now, Serge? What are we doing?
It doesn't feel like there is an Albany to be in charge of when we're getting attacks every night. And maybe we should be worried less about having a prince right now and maybe just fight.
What an
Survival.
excellent point.
Holding court? It's a joke. When there's no safe place to hold it except for my own apartment.
Well, Luther scoffs. It's always something I've hated about the tower. These airs of nobility. When
Careful.
real shit's going down.
I'm not saying anything against Camarilla. Camarilla is lifeblood, and Camarilla is the reason why we are alive.
I agree. But I like the dispensation of heirs.
When our lives our unlives are on the line every single night, there's not much else I can think of.
Our final lives.
So yes, right now, I don't want to be prince. And maybe we don't need to make a selection right now. Sarge, this is something I honestly thought you wanted. But if this is not something that we can handle right now, then we can put a pin in it and just come up with a battle plan. Which is why I invited everyone here tonight.
Sarge looks up and he looks over to Nick. Would you follow me? You? He looks over to Danny. Would you follow me? Amelia? You just met me tonight. Would you follow me?
That entirely depends.
I don't know. Am I the sheriff of Albany?
So your loyalty is based on getting a title?
My loyalty is based on my job. What's your job again? Okay, shut the fuck up. I have a job to do, and if I'm allowed to retain that job, I shall do it. If you're the prince and you want me here, then this is where I am. If you're the prince and you want me somewhere else, I'll quit that job and figure it out. But
I won't say no to any aid to defend this place. The Capital District has been my home for half a century. I'm not giving it up now.
right, and I take my job seriously. This was a honor, and I'm taking it.
And he just like slams his fist into the coffee, the wood coffee
It's
table,
mahogany!
and like splinters, cracks with his inhuman potence.
Oh, it was such a good piece of furniture.
Was that really necessary?
I think so. I feel better.
Is all this bickering getting us any closer to annihilating our enemies?
He looks over at Rhea. As long as you're willing to fight, then I think it is. We're on the same page.
If there's anything that you've learned about me in the past year, it's that I don't give up a fight.
And he looks at his child standing behind you. The young man that he embraced 20 years ago, Luther. And he thinks about how he might not have any choice otherwise. Ooh, at that point, the next guests arrive. Is there a dark corner in your apartment?
Oh, yeah.
18 of them.
So there's to paint a picture, or to paint a floor plan. You enter, and the entry doors are double French doors, actually, which is quite unusual because it's not a condo, it's a penthouse. So you walk through these double French doors, and they open up to a small vestibule entry area where you have a little closet, nice table, a little lamp, mirror. And then through a very nice archway opens up to a great room, and that is where you see a few pieces of furniture. You have a very long couch, very modernist apartment, expensive coffee table, mahogany.
Now splintered.
Distressed.
Quite a few chaise lounges around, and you also have like a reading nook. There is a bay window, the corner that has the dining table, but we're talking like 30 feet by 25. It's a very large room.
We're pretty high up as well.
So you have the city lights, and there are, of course, blackout curtains that have now been thus pulled back. And then off this main room, you have a hallway that leads down to 2 bedrooms that are guest rooms and a bathroom. And then there's a study on the other side of the dining room that has double doors that open up to the dining room. But next to that study, there's a small little reading nook that is darkened. The lamp has not been lit.
Okay.
And then on the other side, so like kind of adjacent to the entry, you have a wall, and that's the kitchen.
Right. So from this hallway, so from the great room, down a hallway towards the study, we hear footsteps coming out from there. 2 sets of footsteps. Is it carpeted? No.
No, it's hardwood, but there are area rugs.
But so you hear like a click clack before it hits the carpet, as well as a second set of less pointed steps.
Some loafers?
Yes, as 2 figures step out from that back hallway, and presumably just out of the shadows themselves. A middle-aged man in a smart gray suit with dark hair and a widow's peak action going on, and a beautiful blonde woman next to him wearing a blue cocktail dress that is percolating her assets. And she's her hair's all done up in a big bouffant, and she's well made up.
Babette.
Yes.
David
and Babette.
Thank you so much for coming.
Well,
it's a little late. I did text you guys 2 weeks ago, but
we have been dealing with issues of our own, Babette says. You, I'm sure, have been dealing with similar matters.
Some of your friends have visited.
My friends, correct. I don't typically refer to food as friends.
Oh, I forgot they eat their own.
That's just her.
Oh, she eats her own.
Welcome. Tell me about your, been having some hard times, but very curious to hear how you're doing.
Hard times indeed, but there's a gush of wind against of cold wind against the balcony doors.
I have a little flashback. I have
It's
a
hard.
very human shudder of a cold I don't actually feel.
It's hard for my enemies to outrun the storm.
I found that to be the case.
And my darling David, and she touches the man's arm, well, and he nods, we can escape as long as there is darkness.
Well, glad that if your enemies have had that problem, I'm glad we're friends now.
Most of my enemies can do the same.
Escape.
What's
Does
your...
that mean you're not here to assist in our battle?
No, unfortunately not. After fleeing Montreal, we have found Albany to be no safer, nor the business to be doing as well as we had hoped. Farm to Table is on its way out.
Well,
It's a
no
fad.
surprise here.
You'll find that unfortunately the Earth is finite, and if you keep running, you'll run out of places to go eventually, I imagine. But
He looks to his partner, and she has this like, running is not what's happening. And like her fangs they're like extended even more. Normally they're just always out for vampires anyway, but like the kind of like, and she's just like the beast. You all feel your own beasts inside kind of growl in response as she fights off what looks like a hunger attack of some sort.
My left hand rises to the pump of the shotgun that I'm still holding.
No.
I picked it up and I never put it down.
I have an argument with you while you're holding a shotgun.
I have been fleeing long enough, hiding from my fate. The call has come for me, and I cannot resist it any longer.
The call?
The call.
The call. The call.
The call?
The call.
Yeah.
So, for the last
Yeah, explain. Thank you.
for the last
Come
few
on.
years, and this is Vampire 5th edition for our dear viewers. This is the new meta. Elders, people of 8th and lower generation,
The call.
the call, have been experiencing a call in their blood,
Ooh.
driving them, bringing them to the Middle East.
Which is why we don't have any primogens anymore.
Would Amelia know something about that, given how old her parents are?
Well, your parents would only be 11th generation.
That's true.
Actually, your dad is 11th, your mom is 12th like you.
Okay.
So they know about it, for sure, but they're not affected by it, because they're not of the...
Gotcha.
Babette, on the other hand, that's why she's been feeding on her own. Like, feeding on vampires has been helping her to abate the call.
Right.
Yes. David shakes his head. I fear for us. I was there last year. All my people gone. We're not being called to aid. We're being called to be devoured. And well, Babette, I won't let her face that fate alone.
Then you'll perish with her.
I've seen what awaits us. La Sombra itself. Maybe, or something just as old.
I respect that adherence to the commitment to duty, to do what needs to be done, but how are the Sabbat affected by this call? Are they losing their...
Not if they're not old enough.
All of our elders, too. But that's why I left the Sabbat. I was ordered to fight.
So we're squabbling, all the children.
That's what's left here in the New World.
Does certainly put it in perspective, what we're doing.
Right.
We're the runts fighting over the scraps.
Is there commonality to be had with that? Are all of our elders affected equally? If we're all that's left, but there might be some room for some late-stage negotiations.
I mean,
There's always a third way out.
Is there?
I told
My
you.
experience.
Yeah,
What was it, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Shut up.
Yep.
2 months? No.
Just
It was beginning of October.
Beginning of October.
yeah, it's not
So
quite
we'll say a month and a half.
Yeah, let's round to that. Time flies when you're having fun.
Because it's before Wonderville.
Several weeks ago, I spoke of the land. Its cries, its screams of pain. That's Babette. I'm losing my accents. Not that they were great to begin with.
They're great.
They're wonderful.
We love them.
Thank you. You should stop. The land, it's crying.
Yes, you told me we weren't able to figure it out.
Fetch me. May I, please, have a bowl?
Yeah, mi casa es su casa. Never use these anyway.
Can you fill it with water? She makes no sign to do it herself.
There's definitely like an awkward pause of me like handing it to her. Okay.
You know what? I actually probably take it.
I go to the faucet and kind of stare at it for a second.
It's over. It's right here's. You know what? Let me just get that for you. I walk it over and I say, "Well, then what happens when? What happens when they run out of whatever devouring gets hungry and there's nothing left? Our blood's too thin to create more, and."
David, as you're doing that, David's just shaking his head. This is why the Camarilla will always fail. You don't understand what's coming.
Yeah, and that's why we don't understand it, because people who do not understand it's coming don't tell us what the fuck is going on.
This is Gehenna. The elders are awaking, and they're coming to devour the world. The sword of Cain shall fall against them, and if we're lucky, we'll survive.
If you're lucky?
Can't say. The last time I came up against one of these things, I was the only one who got away.
It's not chance. There's a fight to be had, right? Right?
It's always chance. It's always chance. Okay, so the bowl comes back and Babette starts moving her hands over it, chanting in what may be something akin to, oh God, an old language. Just leave it there.
Language,
We'll just leave it there.
Okay.
Esperanto. No?
Esperanto,
Yeah. Aramaic?
It's about 100 years old.
Exactly.
I would know that,
Depends.
though. If it was...
She's AD.
Oh, okay.
She's def AD. No way. BC would be like crazy.
But an ancient language in AD.
Right. Well, no, it's not an ancient language. It's an old language.
Old language.
It's like Old English, not even Middle English. Like incomprehensible.
Well,
Let's say Norse.
Chris doesn't want to say Hebrew because I'm going to be able to be like, what is it?
Hebrew's not an ancient language. It's the national
Gaelic,
language of
but
a
it's
modern.
been around for
I
a
know.
long
Gaelic, it's been a
time.
while.
Latin?
Latin.
It could be Latin.
Okay.
So an old dead language.
Right. Hebrew's very much alive.
Late Middle Ages.
Right.
Byzantine? She was turned
I love
shortly...
it. Byzantine is very good.
Byzantine.
I'm sorry. She was turned
Ancient
shortly
Greek?
after the fall of Constantinople.
That would be
alright.
Byzantine Greek.
Yeah, that would
Okay,
be,
yeah.
Great. So that's what she's chanting in.
And Latin would be very weird for that.
Okay, great. So, great. Because I just Googled Constantinople and was like,
It's
Istanbul.
For the same joke.
Nobody
Well,
knows.
so
Song
in-
is
in-
too new. Is that new?
In vampire terms, Constantinople is the closest we've come to a vampire
Which is hilarious
like city,
because
society.
it was created as the first official Christian city.
That was pre-Sabat and Camarilla. So in charge were three Kindred,
right?
love it.
Malkavian, a Toreador, and a Teniche, I'm pretty sure. She was turned shortly thereafter, and so she doesn't really know much about. Okay. I got some successes, which is great. I used the willpower to make this happen. She's moving her hands over the water, and as you all are kind of watching her hands, you can see the water start to ripple and change. And as this frost comes out of her hands and into the water, and illusions form up, like a hologram dancing across the top of the water of this bowl. There is a place far to the north. The humans refer to it as the tar sands in Canada.
Oh.
And there, that is what our brethren run from. The Sabbat of Montreal. The reason we've been invading south of the border. Something has awoken. The land is in pain. I have seen it, felt it in my dreams. I would not be surprised if some of you with the gift have been having similar dreams. Those of you with aspects might have been having some strange nightmares.
That's fine.
Creatures in toxic wastelands far to the north, emerging, screaming, screeching. The images ripple across the water once more, and you see wolves running through moonlit forests. The lupines do their best to contain the threat, but they too will fall. An apocalypse will come. That is what's coming for you. And the images fade from the bowl. If you are to stay here, nothing but toxicity.
What if we had something really powerful?
Such as? Me?
No.
What?
8 months ago,
I know.
What happened 8 months ago?
we found something. Someone.
Someone.
Someone? Someone? Someone?
Someone,
Is
yes,
this
thank
Danny?
you, as I was
Is this
saying.
Danny?
I think that is a great time for us to take our break. Dear viewers, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will be back in a quick 5 to 10 minutes.
I still want to say it. It's
So don't change that dial. But if you do, leave our tab open. That's all I ask. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Albany by Night. We are inside Ria's penthouse apartment. It's crowded.
Oh, yeah.
There are close to a dozen kindred here gathered tonight.
I was throwing shade at you because it's like you can't host 12 people. This is a penthouse.
In one room. In
before-
one room.
You said before anyone else gets here, who else is coming?
I invited everybody who's involved in the fight.
I mean, really, everyone's involved in the fight.
Yeah, so
Are the mortals coming too?
mortals? No. I'm gonna need to roll that one.
You're bluffing
Yeah.
versus Surge.
I mean, I wouldn't consider technomancers mortals.
Right, I felt like there was a
It
follow-up to that line.
Depends on how you're looking at it.
But you're not telling him that technomancers are coming.
Yeah.
That's
Is it-
So I'd like to do manipulation.
and subterfuge.
Yes.
Is that insight and composure for me? Or insight and...
Wait.
But insight is under social,
Yes.
and wits is under mental.
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to check.
This is like
I mean-
bubbly.
Because wits to me is more like your ability to think quickly.
And I always add, the red will be my hunger die.
Correct.
I forgot to call that last time, so...
1, 2. That's 4, 5, 6 successes.
1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
You can always re-roll. Spend a willpower, up to 3 non-hunger.
No, hold on to willpower.
Save it for next session.
Yeah.
I'll hold on to willpower.
Alright, so I guess I succeed in my bluff.
You bluff.
Yes, no mortals are coming. Of course not. Why would I? Mortals. But my part, we feel like we need to make a field trip.
Is Fiona coming?
She was invited, actually. Yes.
Very interesting.
Are you sure?
I'm sure that she was invited, but I'm not sure if she is coming. She is not one to answer invites.
I meant about the field trip.
Yes, I'm sure.
Yes, I believe you were in the process of explaining what the subject of our field trip was.
Months ago, we discovered Prince Luca's
Haven.
And was she in the haven? She wasn't in the haven. She
Deep
was
underneath.
deep underneath. And in the process of discovering Prince Luca's haven, we found another vampire, a very old vampire. She might be even as old as you, I bet.
Huh.
We have not woken her, so we do not know upon what side she lies. But if this doom is coming upon us all, it's much bigger than a battle with the Sabbat, which we could handle. If it's something bigger than that even, then we're gonna die anyway.
We talked about Gehenna. If this is a hopeless fight, we might as well bring out every potential or possible advantage we might have.
I wouldn't want to leave any corners unsearched.
That's assuming it's an advantage. You have no idea what it is you could be waking up.
This is true.
If it's a losing battle, then how do we go below 0? How do we...
You hasten your own demise.
Would it look something like this? And I put the absent Nick. I put the sketch on the table
Of
the vision. Just a pencil.
So I feel like you only saw like her lower half.
I recognize those gams anywhere.
Yeah, right? Those
But the feet.
the feet.
She was barefoot, wearing pants.
Well, yes, that would be
The manicured. I mean, they're not toenails as much as I don't know, but claws is just so.
I think the slacks are what really sells it with this.
Right.
So when you say slacks, do you just mean pants, or is that like 1960s slacks?
1960s slacks.
Okay.
Right.
That's... How did you...
I had a vision. This is all I saw. As you can tell, I sketched out the Empire State Plaza there.
Then we go.
You can see the tile work.
Did you see anything else? Like, I don't know, rooms filled with blood?
I saw someone bowing to her.
Who? Luther looks concerned.
Yeah, who?
You.
That's... Then it must be the right course of action. I would only...
She's a gangrel. She's your blood.
I would only... Obviously... So this is a good sign, then. I'm proven to be practical when it comes to these things. So this must be someone whose aid we must want. Serge, you speak... You give me confidence in this.
Yes, because everyone who's filled with irrational love makes the best decisions.
It's not about irrational love. It's about duty. It's about understanding responsibility.
Babette clicks her nails together. The young Rose has had an augury, but whether it's for weal or woe, you shall only find out by playing it through.
I'm sure you will not stay to watch it play.
Don't.
I have had I have expressed some matter of energy this evening. Just maintaining my composure. A woman of what you speak will have zero composure.
So we need to be prepared to defend ourselves.
Perhaps.
Which brings me back to my original question. How are you so certain that such a variable is going to prove helpful? We are, as you say, at our lowest ends currently.
I'm not certain, but what I am certain is that whether it be now or 5 days or 10 nights,
10 days.
5 nights or 10 nights, it seems that something much larger is coming, and whether we find out now or later, who knows? Maybe it's dependent upon who wakes her.
We're just huddling.
That's a terrible risk.
We can also be prepared. Just be on our wares.
What happens if we do nothing? Nothing.
Oh, nothing is not what I'm advocating for. Simply the matter of awakening this older
If you weren't going to
vampire.
kneel before her, I wouldn't have seen you do it.
Explain yourself.
There's a lot that I didn't see. I didn't see much beyond where you were, except on the floor of the Empire Hall, the tile floor, kneeling in front of her. I didn't see what was behind you or what was in front of you. All of that's uncertain.
Well, then, you've given me this vision, but what would you recommend we do?
I'm just telling you that you're going to end up kneeling in front of her. That's the only thing we know.
I mean, it's your vision is... I don't know how your gifts work. But if you slay me now, then that vision would never come to pass. Is that possible?
Who's going to slay you now?
I don't know. I just bring up the idea that there's nothing you've said is certain, and you've not proven to be overly trustworthy.
Have I ever lied to you, Nick?
Not that I know of. Maybe right now. It's a good place to start.
Why?
Because you don't like me? Because you've disrespected me? You've run me down and tried to erode my power every chance? For starters?
You know,
I do.
I mean,
Yes.
that's all based on my experience of you.
Exactly. And so maybe you're, based on your experience with me, you want to destroy me now by lying at this very opportune time. Though you do speak of things you haven't seen, so I believe you have a gift. But whether you might be twisting these things, I'm willing to trust you if you'll trust me.
Motive.
What are you
Or-
trying to do?
I just want to understand, we're wasting time. I want to figure out whether or not he is trying to, I don't know.
Right, I'm willing to be okay, let's go there. And he's like, but do you want to? I'm like, okay, I don't want to. Wait, do I? I don't know what I'm supposed
He's
to be
confusing
doing.
him. It's just I want to cut to the chase, make sure that he's not just fucking around, which I don't think he is, but clearly Nick does.
I feel like this is less insight, less subterfuge, less persuasion, and more leadership.
Yeah, I was, okay.
Leadership and resolve,
Right.
please.
Unresisted.
Yeah.
Not resolve, composure.
Unresisted
That's the
here,
social
too. I
one.
just want to know what to do.
Yes.
That's why you're a great leader. You shouldn't leave.
Oh my God.
Don't forget you're beautiful.
No matter what they
I know,
say.
I always had my +1 to social rules.
Just double checking.
She's like, Natch, I got this. She's taking dice I don't even usually have. Ooh.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes out of 7 dice.
Nice.
So you cut through their bickering. And everyone stops and listens.
I mean, I just wanted to make sure. I literally just wanted. Anyway, I didn't want to make a speech.
You're a leader. Lead us.
What's happening right now is not important. Whatever world he wants to see on fire, I don't think is his own. And right now, your two worlds are intertwined. Therefore, your world is his world. He would not want to see that burned down.
So here we go.
I'm just merely trying to stop anything since it could be one of our bodies that's off to the side in my vision.
I don't believe that to happen. And she's been laying there for 60 years now, I assume.
Yeah.
60 years.
Damn.
People do wear things that are out of fashion.
That's true.
Looking at Nick.
Black t-shirts always in fashion.
Never.
Always
Simple
never.
bickering will not solve any problems at this point. We don't need to worry about selfish motives because that will get us nowhere.
I think Amelia gives like a subtle look over at Danny at that phrasing.
I'm going.
And so
Whether you're with me or not, that's fine.
vision or no.
But I feel that this, from what we've seen from Babette tonight, this has become much larger than the battle that we have foreseen. And frankly, I think that this is our only choice. And if you are too scared to join, that's fine. Run away. She looks directly at Serge. Run away.
Uh-oh. Oh, by the way, I quit. But run away.
Sarge stands up from his chair. Sect, Prince, none of this matters. You're right. And it's for that reason that I'm not going with you. Heading back across the river, taking this money you gave me, and putting it to use. We can't all go down there.
I respect your decision. Put it to good use.
And I want Luther to come with me. But, Sarge, Luther is standing behind you. No, I go with her. Luther, I think she has enough protection.
I don't need protection.
You're right. You need me. Right? Right, Rhea? Luther's like come around to the side of your chair and he's like bending down, like looking at you like, no, tell Sarge that you need me. Like I need you.
I need you to stay with Sarge. I don't know what's awaiting us down there. And I'm willing to sacrifice myself, but I'm not willing to sacrifice you. No matter what you've done in the past, you've proved yourself 10 times over. Stay with your sire.
As my prince commands.
Rhea walks out of the room.
Back into the study, into the bedroom.
No, out. She's heading out.
She's going. She's got a destination in
Wow.
mind.
Damn,
It involves a
fuck.
buried elder.
Holy shit.
I think
I think this calls for a frenzy check. You're emotional. The beast.
Ooh.
Yes.
you
Frenzy.
What do I roll
I
for
just need to
that?
stop yelling, don't
I've
I?
never done that. What do I roll for a frenzy?
Um,
I'm holding
You've
I
been,
can't
always
help you
been
with that
so
one.
in control. It's
I
never
don't
come
know.
up. Have you done this before?
This is like this title like real. This is control.
what the? It's a result.
Have you ever done this? Have you ever made this roll before that you recall?
No.
While being sober?
Right, it's a resolve.
So-ish?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
We're all learning new things tonight.
Hold on.
Resolve and
Just a sec.
Oh my gosh.
Frenzy. Willpower. It's a willpower check.
oh
Your current willpower, not your total.
no, my current willpower is fine.
Okay, you have negative rolls.
So 6.
I need to determine what kind of frenzy this is.
So I don't roll blood, right?
No, I don't think hunger comes into... No, willpower never deals with hunger.
Sorry, hunger. Yeah, not blood.
You got this.
1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Okay. You're, there's a...
I feel like there's a brief moment as I hit the door, and I just I put my hand on the frame, which is actually impossible to do since I already explained it's a French door.
Top frame.
I put my hand on the knob, and it kind of cracks a little bit in the wood placement. And I just hold it there, pause for a second, and then head to the elevator.
Everyone kind of looks at each other for a moment.
I head out the door. I grab my shotgun and then I wrap it around. I'm about to walk out of the penthouse wielding a tactical M4 Brunelli shotgun. Then I'm like, not so subtle. I grab my coat and kind of.
I did roll high on that leadership.
I kind of
You did. So much so that Babette sits down.
What?
Crosses her legs. Well, let's see what happens then, dear.
What's happening?
Luther and Sarge will wait for you to take the first elevator down.
Yeah, it'd be awkward.
That'd be great.
You're right.
It's and so goodbye, and then we're like, oh, you're going that direction too?
The
Oh,
elevator
I'm so
music starts
sorry.
playing.
Nothing worse than saying goodbye to someone you're leaving the office, and you're like, oh, we're going in the same direction? We're going to the same subway?
I think
Oh,
Amelia
awkward.
finishes her wine very calmly, observing as always.
Right.
All of this gives kind of that knowing look to Danny oh, this is going to be exciting.
Will you come with me?
Well, it seems that's where we're needed, doesn't it?
The Empire State Plaza. You know it?
Do I?
Have you been to Albany? In real life?
In real life? No.
Okay, so south
I said there was a lot more to say. I mostly just said I've never been there.
Albany?
I've barely been here. It's only been 3 years.
Hey, we have
No
some
offense
people,
to anyone from Albany.
We do have some people from Albany who have seen the show, or at least seen our social
That is
media.
not what I meant.
Well,
It was mostly do you know me? I have barely been to any place here.
Right. I've been to Albany once.
Have you been to Staten Island?
No. Yes, once on a project.
I actually haven't been there either. See, this is what I mean.
I hear they have good
So, just south of the Capitol building is a large plaza that Nelson T. Rockefeller built. It's got a huge reflecting pool.
Oh, nice.
It has these 4 bleak agency towers, very brutalist structures, as well as this egg-shaped dome. The plaza itself is quite bleak. Just standing there, especially when this cold wind. It is not a pleasant place, but there is a mall underneath that the employees of the state of New York use for haircuts. There's an optometrist down there. There's a few restaurants.
Like that underground in Montreal?
Yeah, well, in Albany. Yeah. But there's an Embonpoint down there. Embonpoint.
Better than I can do it.
Right.
Oh, wait, that's how you pronounce it?
I just go ABP.
Embonpoint. My boss is French Moroccan. She'd probably be like, oh my god. If she's not watching.
Embarrassing.
Anyway, so there's a whole thing down there. But it is quite mundane. It's not. So anyway.
Yes.
That too.
We got that.
And there's a part apparently that is glass you can come down through, which how they got killed.
Yes.
Prince Luca.
Yes. So, I forgot. Danny was saying something.
Yeah. Are we going?
Yeah.
That is what you said.
Because I think your character has been there before.
I'm sure I have.
You've been there for 3 nights. You've probably been there.
Yeah, most definitely.
Ria's voice comes out of nowhere.
You're in the open. Yes, I hear you, dear.
And what about you, Serge? Danny says.
I will be there. I will,
What's your vision?
Yes. And Amelia, would I abandon you?
I should hope not, dear. Especially with such changes.
And such
Upcoming.
important political changes. And we've been such good friends since we met.
I'd like to think so.
The last time an elder woke up out of torpor, 63 in Manhattan. God, I fucked everything up.
What exactly happened?
Well, the parties. They got really boring. We follow a lot of tradition.
God forbid.
No one really
Forget it.
rules.
It's too dangerous.
We weren't allowed to use modern technology in the presence.
No, that's not that bad.
It just wasn't. You're right. We don't know what we're waking up, and usually they don't appreciate the fact that the world has moved on without them.
Well, they should maybe have a friendly face who's been here for a long time as well. There to greet them.
Also,
Tell
it's
them
the
things will be
60s
all
or
right.
70s, not the 1800s.
That's true.
Well, that's just when they were presumably buried.
Well, that's when she fell asleep.
Who
Lost.
knows how long she's actually been alive.
But that makes sense. She won't be. I mean, things haven't changed that much in 60 years.
Well, speak for yourself. I think lots of things have changed. But that still being said, I've been, what do they say now? Around the block?
I don't know,
Yes,
what do they
that is
say?
what they say now.
I've never heard
Perhaps
anyone use that
it
expression. But
might be helpful to have somebody there when they wake up who's also been around since the 60s. And then some.
We'll be there.
I go over to Trevor and I'm just like, take the van. And I tell him a corner of the Nelson Road Rockefeller where they don't bother people who are parked.
Employee parking on the western side.
Park there. If anything starts to happen, give me 30 minutes to get to you. If you get 4 hours to sunrise, and I give him the sunrise time on my phone.
Are you
and
saying
nothing's
this?
No, I'm just whispering to him. I'm just like, just if it gets 4 hours to sunrise, just go back to the apartment. Otherwise, I'll rendezvous with you.
Can I hear them?
Do you have Auspex?
No, but I also don't know what that is, technically.
Hiding something.
You're not in the room anymore.
Did I leave? Oh, you weren't talking to me. I looked down.
You do not, unfortunately.
Oh, never mind then.
So you cannot hear him whispering. You can hear him.
Yeah.
You know who does have heightened awareness?
Danny.
You do know who has heightened awareness. And like you're like
Giving you one of my telepathic looks then?
right, and like he does this thing where it's like, talk to me, but don't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's just listening to the conversation across the room.
Then I come back towards you and I think it's always important to have a getaway driver, don't you think?
Entirely depends what you're trying to get away from and why.
Violent elders from a different clan.
Well, fair enough, if that's truly the reason why one would run so suddenly.
I didn't say we had to get away. I'm just saying it's always good to have a getaway driver.
I have to
Who's
say,
the getaway for?
Serge, I knew Christine for a few decades. And I have known Troy almost as long. Met them when they were together, when he was her star pupil.
Was he just as boring then?
No. And I'm sad to hear that he's boring. That sucks. You, on the other hand, are not boring, and I like that. I've also heard a lot of things about you in the last month. And I want to make this clear. While I think that your getaway plan is great, don't run without us, Amelia and I.
Only if things are quite dire. I'd hate to leave during this little scuffle and fight over power.
If we
They're my
have to
favorite
get
kind of
away,
parties.
what direction would you prefer to go? North or south?
South. We're not going north.
That's the plan.
And if Ria's not prince anymore, and I'm free, well, I just need to make sure, darling, but you'll be there for me, for us, when things happen. And like, I think both of you can feel, and Trevor as well, Danny's presence start to grow in the room. And Danny, I need you to roll composure.
You're Danny.
Danny?
You're Danny.
I thought you were just talking to yourself there.
I know what Danny needs to roll. I need Serge to roll composure plus wits, please.
This is why I was saving my willpower.
Oh, thank you.
Smart. This guy's been around the block, as they say.
Well, I too shall spend some
Actually, I'm good.
Damn. Okay.
That is, so 2 10s.
Oh.
Oh, no, sorry, that's an 8 and a 10, sorry. So that's 5 successes.
5. Did you spend willpower?
I already spent the willpower.
Okay.
But I think 5 and 5, defense, doesn't it?
Meets, but... Yeah.
6.
Oh, wait.
6 successes.
Amelia's
Oh, damn.
very proud.
So Danny's in charge.
So,
Of them, not us.
Of course not.
Oh. I didn't
So
roll,
for-
I'm assuming, okay.
2 hours. It's, 2 hours. That's it. Like, you will not... The idea is that you won't get away without Danny.
I won't get away without Danny.
And Amelia. And
Yeah.
And Amelia.
Her too.
Amalia.
Miley,
That's
Amalia.
it.
Quite a nice name.
And Amelia.
Really feel like Amelia's key to this plan.
Of me running.
No.
Of her being there.
Yeah,
If
Amelia,
I can't get away without Danny and Amelia, then you're getting Danny away is sort of key to our getting away alive. That's out of character.
Only if I'd say Amelia has no intention of leaving. I mean, that might have been a possibility before she just heard Rhea denounce being prince, and now there's a massive vacuum and an opportunity. That is, she's not leaving. She'd only leave if this elder looks like it's about to just completely go bonkers and yonkers, essentially.
Yes.
Yonkers is a good bit south of us.
It's a few hours, but yeah.
Thank you.
Yonkers borders New York
You're
City.
almost
Bonkers and Albany.
You're almost to Manhattan by the time you get to Yonkers.
I think
Gonna
Bonkers and
quibble over
Yonkers
my
would be
turn
a
of
really
phrase.
unusual chronicle. It's like, welcome to Bonkers and Yonkers.
God, I would never.
I feel like
That's our mini series after
That's
this.
some Anarch bullshit.
the zaniest Camarilla
Yeah.
campaign ever is the Camarilla version of Lost in Yonkers. In which it's just about the 14th thin blood generation prince of Yonkers.
Oh my god, put a pin in that one.
Wow.
We'll come
Alright.
back to that one.
I know we got lots left to do. Can we get started on that right away?
So, yes, we have about
Very good.
35 minutes left in our
Oh
session.
my god. Alright, so let's get going.
Let's get
He
going.
really wants to go.
Get
So-
to it.
While this is all happening, on the street, Rhea has since persuaded a human and knocked them out.
What?
We're bringing a human with us.
I also have my entire security detail. They're all
We're
human.
gonna break one of your people.
You can.
We need blood for the. I'm not stupid.
Okay, so
We
I just need a
blood.
quick dominate check.
Alright, it's fine.
You're
I
taking
think
one
we're
of my people.
mesmerizing.
Yeah.
This is more than a compel. Mesmerize and manip.
Yeah, I can do. Mesmerize. So. Yeah.
Is that what it is? Sorry, I'm asking you
looking
a
at-
question that you don't know the answer to just yet. Manipulation plus
And
dominate.
dominate, yeah.
Dominate, yes.
Yeah.
Do it.
Versus intelligence and resolve. Well, this human might not be very smart.
Oh my.
Not tremendous.
Spinning a willpower.
That's what willpower is for.
How many do you have?
I had 3 successes.
That's enough.
Alright.
You've got a human. Some
Great.
rando man who was in a suit walking through downtown, looking around like he doesn't know where he's going. Probably like a stranger.
Cool. Yeah, we need blood.
I feel like if you're still outside by the time Amelia gets downstairs, she's 100% going to be like, you could have just used any one of my retinue.
I don't want someone that you pay for.
Oh, well.
You're just taking randos off the street?
Who's talking to me?
Danny,
Danny? It's not for me.
I guess you've got the police in your pocket already anyway. It's fine.
You remember my job back in the city.
I do.
I know how to cover my...
I'm just
steps.
worried. That's all.
We're all worried.
We're fine.
Are we? Oh yeah, I guess so.
And then shortly behind you two is Serge and Trevor nods, starts walking in a different direction. And then Luther and Sarge leave as well.
I'm already down. Like, I cannot look at them. But I did see Trevor go off on his own direction.
Okay.
I'm walking.
Okay, the Empire State Plaza, the Nelson T. Rockefeller Empire State Plaza is not far. There are a few like flood lamps on the plaza, but about half of them are kind of like not working very well. Remember, this is a world of darkness, so things are not as well maintained as they usually would be in our reality. The water in the very big reflecting pool is brackish and dark. It's not that cold tonight here in New York.
45.
2 weeks ago, it was in the low 30s, which was a great time for the Sabbat to attack. But right now, we're looking at 51 here in New York City. So it's probably a good 5 degrees colder up in Albany. Just because there's less heat running through the streets.
Were you checking the actual accuracy of that temperature?
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Well, because when we play, tonight is when
real
we're
time.
playing.
Real time.
So good.
It's always in real
Real
time.
time.
Also, I look over as we're walking. Once we get out of the view of people, the shotgun is back into my hands just because I don't know where the Sabbat are and I'm paranoid. I look over to you. I say, "You see what you're doing right now?"
I pull my gun out.
No, I see what you're doing right now.
Leading a man.
You're leading.
It's not the same.
But you know what you're doing right now. You're taking decisive action. This is what the prince does. This is why you're the prince. Regardless of what the words you say, your actions speak.
If I'm going to play the diplomatic game, I'm going to play the diplomatic game of New York. I'm not going to play it in Albany.
Albany is where you're needed. But go on.
Holding
Prince.
the guy's shoulder and a gun now at my side.
Right, and he doesn't need the gun.
No, I'm not doing it for him. I'm doing it because we are walking through the streets at night, and Nick brings up a good point. The fact that the Sabbat could attack
Right.
any moment.
Nick does bring up a good point that you're the Prince of Albany.
I
I'm just
have
saying.
firearms, so I have my gun at the ready.
Understood. This generic human man is walking
I
forward.
imagine his eyes are just like clouded over, like.
He's just like, pretty lady asked me to walk with her.
Check his wallet. Mike Smith.
I guess I could, like, I don't need to be holding his shoulder. I would be like holding his hand or something.
You put your arm through his.
Yeah, whatever.
Act like you're maybe a little cold or something. He's like,
Got the shivers.
That all routine.
I thought I'm only here on business, but walking around downtown, it's pretty dead here in Albany on Friday night.
Amelia laughed behind.
Quite so.
I saw Elton John was performing at the arena around the corner, but can't imagine there are a lot of hip young people going to that concert.
Elton John is back. You'd be very surprised.
He comes a lot through Albany?
I'm sure.
We're closer, Tiny Dancer.
Okay, all right. And as you're walking up the steps to the plaza, you hear a voice from thin air. Well, he comes about every other year or so. And he stops. Huh, okay.
Did we all hear that?
Yeah.
What?
This is totally in character.
Sense the unseen.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Can I just call for that to happen?
You just did.
I guess so.
You're the storyteller.
You're the master.
The words did actually.
Oh, I'm running this game.
Yeah, that's you.
Oh.
Who's in charge? She's the prince, but you're actually in charge.
Go for it.
How does Sense the Unseen work?
You need a...
Is it just a rouse check? And then you're...
Since the Unseen allows you to make rolls on things that you shouldn't be otherwise.
It's free. It's no rouse check.
No rouse check?
Wits plus Auspex.
Thank you.
I'm not going to hold this while you roll.
You're doing great.
Oh my god, it's happening.
Oh, the storyteller makes a hidden roll of wits plus aspects against the difficulty they choose. Well, I'm not rolling. Just do it.
I got two. 2 successes. I'm pretty distracted. Sorry about that.
That is a non-messy critical. I think 4 successes, if I'm counting right.
A non-messy critical? Yeah. Okay, it's just a critical success. So 2 10s count as 4.
Yeah. Oh, so it's 5 successes.
5 successes. So the hair on the back of your neck goes up. You feel like a pricking in your ears, and you turn exactly like to where the voice was. Nick, unfortunately, does not know where this voice is coming from.
No, not if I spend willpower.
You could.
Yeah, I'm rolling.
Roll 2, yeah.
But in your mind's eye, you can see the shape of this woman with elfin ears.
No.
Oh, her.
Yes.
So I got 3.
What?
3, not enough. And strange milky blue eyes.
Serge has met Donna.
Yes.
Is it not Donna? And he's met Fiona before.
Has he met Esmeralda?
Not Fiona.
You've met Esmeralda in Brooklyn.
Okay.
You might have met her at the LARP.
I probably did.
Lauren's character.
Oh, yeah.
FYI. We did a LARP, whatever.
It was great fun.
So,
It was.
this elfin-looking woman steps out of thin air. And the human man's like, whoa, what the what
I'm
is
going
she?
to calm him. I'll presence him. Do I need a roll?
I think it's just free for awe.
Ah.
And he's already mesmerized, so he's like, oh.
Be like, calm down.
Okay.
Let's talk more about Elton John.
Ooh.
Crocodile Rock, underrated song. Just saying.
Yeah.
Esmeralda.
Candle in the Wind. That's Elton John, right?
Esmeralda is also the one who started the rumor about Serge being predestined to be Prince.
Yes.
Like, completely on her own.
Esmeralda started a lot of rumors.
She stirred the pot.
She did. She did. As soon as Danny sees her, he blanches and like pulls back from you, Amelia, just like almost like stands behind you.
And Amelia would recognize.
But he saw her 2
That's
weeks
Esmeralda.
ago.
She's from Brooklyn.
He saw her 2 weeks ago. Why is he scared of her?
He was scared of her back then.
Oh, and maybe it was just masked by being scared of the monsters.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
No, because she said a whole bunch of shit to him in Brooklyn last month, and it freaked him the fuck out.
Ooh.
Yes. Oh, well, you're here, the woman says.
Yes, and are you coming with us?
I don't know.
Last time you ran away.
What are you foreseeing is what's happening?
You know what we're here for.
I do.
What have you seen?
I can't say.
Can't or won't.
Perhaps she's just here to start more rumors.
Can
Did you see
show?
Gangrel bowing?
Always.
You can go fuck yourself.
Esmeralda.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Okay. All right.
I'm very fond of you.
You are a...
You have an artist's soul.
Well, I try.
Try harder.
Let this happen.
Please come with us. Permanent you in.
I don't know what that emotion was, but it was pretty intense.
Ah!
That's what it was.
I'm dropping dice.
Don't get scared.
Great.
Just busy, like keeping
I want you to roll
at bay.
composure plus
Amelia's having a
intelligence.
great time.
This is a dominate effect.
I also have Fortify the Inner Facade,
Yes.
which I believe gives me to the book something. Gives me advantages on this kind of bullshit.
Exactamundo. What am I rolling? Manip. She's not great at it. Let's be fair. She's older.
Did she give you her specs? Oh, right.
Nick,
Yeah?
number of successes?
Well, I haven't rolled it. I'm looking at the Fortify the Inner Facade. Increases the difficulty of using Scry, soul, telepathy, and similar powers on the user by half their fortitude rating. So if the rules allow the user to resist these powers, they add their fortitude rating to their
So those are all Auspex powers.
Yeah.
This doesn't let you defend against presence or dominate then.
Okay, how about unswayable mind? I also have that.
Want to read that one?
Sure.
Rules. We know how to play this.
Adds their dots and fortitudes extra dice in any roll made to resist coercion, intimidation, or seduction. This power also works against supernatural abilities such as dominate and presence.
So you'll use unswayable mind on this.
Okay.
So that's composure plus intelligence plus fortitude.
Okay, so my composure is 4.
That's a lot of things.
My intelligence is only 2.
I feel like I'm playing patty cake with the like.
And my
humans to keep
fortitude
him, like, engaged.
is
Making out, maybe.
Oh, I guess yeah.
Siren.
I'm a siren.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Okay. Great. So she and for a minute you can feel like a scratching at the back of your mind. And then nothing.
I'm like, you're trying to do some stuff which better have tried. Anything else?
My hand. Would you come with us? We're going to see what both of us have seen part of.
I'd like to see with mine own eyes. But perhaps one greater than I can pass judgment on what shall occur tonight. I am merely recording and observing.
Then I'll stand with you.
Oh, great.
Say typical, and I keep going.
Looks like Serge made a friend. It's about time.
So, we head past the reflecting pool to a small stairwell that abuts right up against the center of the lengthwise of the pool. And we go down these stairs, boop, boop, 2 flights, open a door into a mall. It's dimly lit, emergency lighting, just because it's after dark, and you can see the glass storefronts of an optometrist, a cafe, a barber shop, maybe even like a small CVS or Dwayne Reed. Very casual. And we step into the men's bathroom.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's right.
And up to one of the stalls.
I believe it's the far ADA large one.
Mm-hmm. Open it up, and the wall clicks open and slides. Non-fluorescent lighting turning on beyond.
Incandescent?
That's the better kind. Okay, yes, incandescent lighting.
Architects.
No one talks about incandescent lighting.
Well, because incandescent is bad anymore. That's why everybody's moving to LEDs. It's a whole thing. Never mind. Go on.
But
no, I'm fascinated about this. Let's make
you
the whole
want
game
good
about that.
lighting for your secret vampire
Well,
lair.
LEDs are pretty decent.
But
I feel like
fluorescent
Wouldn't
is
this be
gross.
closer to
no, so
60
these
stuff?
this would
is
be like an
passive
incandescent
way?
light. Incandescent's more warm. It's the traditional.
What about
light
a
bulb.
world of darkness?
All right, are we doing fluorescence?
No.
I walk
so we're
through.
doing incandescence.
It's a game.
We're like,
Right,
oh,
this was
The
Lecter's
lighting.
lair.
I said, okay,
Very
that's
true.
it.
So, as I said, incandescent lighting.
You said non-fluorescent.
As I said, non-fluorescent.
incandescent. He's a storyteller. What he says is what he says.
Moving on.
All right. Lights up beyond. We step into. It is a barely furnished, quite minimal, but aesthetically favorable haven. Well, I mean, 100% is very obvious to all of you that no other creature but a vampire would reside here. A rich one with rich tastes. Everything here is quite neutral, both in like tone and in taste. If someone who believed in the gender binary walked in here, they would have trouble figuring out which of the 2 genders this space belonged to. But Rhea knows her way. She's been here many times. And she steps through to the study.
So would you.
Right.
I wasn't here for that session though. but I've been here.
Right. This was also your predecessor's space. You've spent some time exploring this place. Stepping through into the kitchens, where there's another stairwell that goes down into the cellar. And down through there, and through a series of doors and rooms. Things mostly just storage, random crates, the smell of old spices and exotic wood fills some of these rooms. But in the final chamber beyond, a stone door with an ankh engraved on the front of it, the symbol of the Camarilla.
Gotta open it.
You do.
But before I do,
Oh, you don't.
I don't. I turn around.
I open it, but before that... Whoa.
I go to step forward, but before that, I turn around to everyone. Last chance. Then turn to the human. It's okay. But seriously.
This is pretty trippy.
Oh, I want to see what's in there.
Okay.
You open the door. This dirt chamber, not even properly finished. There is a stone slab in the middle of the room, and on top of it is a woman wearing black slacks and a white blouse with short, dark brown hair that has all been flipped to one side. Yes, it is quite.
It's me!
It's quite similar.
Oh my god.
That's why you brought me here.
Oh my god. Amelia, you
Art
look to
becomes
the
life.
slab and you see.
She has a bob.
Emilia, if you didn't have fashion sense, you'd look like her.
But yes, there is a woman there. She definitely looks older, not 19, but probably in her early 30s. And like definitely more wrinkled, for sure. And she seems dead still, a corpse.
I'm going to whisper to the human, no matter what, you will not be afraid of her. You will love her. Go stand next to her.
I love her. And he goes and he stands next to her.
All right. I don't know what to do.
I do. I think at this point, Nick's eyes start glowing like red, based on his eyes of the beast kind of kicks in, and his right hand turns into this feral claw. Let me I'll take a rouse check if you'd like.
Go for it.
I don't make it, so my hunger deepens as my hands turn into like these claws just kind of come out of my fingernails, and where there was that blood was kind of encrusted in the beds, it kind of like follows them out, and so the claws themselves are kind of encoded in this kind of scabby disgustingness. It's okay. And I move forward and I look at the human, but then I slash my own wrist and apply it to the mouth of the kindred before me.
I think take Esmeralda's hand and I back up to a wall near the door, near the exit point.
Okay.
I'm somewhere between those 2 points.
With Danny,
Yes.
who's standing behind you.
We're in a rectangular. I assume the
square
door
room.
is in the back where you're looking down at her. You coming and you're looking perpendicular to her.
Yeah.
You're looking perpendicular.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm standing at feet. So like doors here. I'm here. She's like there.
Got it. So you both are on the side where the door is.
And I'm just at the back wall.
Okay.
Like adjacent to like not trying to leave, but like adjacent to the back wall.
Okay.
Or adjacent.
And I feel like in this moment, a lot of what like this Nick is clinging to his humanity a lot. Like he seems like a normal mortal in his actions, and in this there's a degree of rote. Like there's nothing casual about this. He's acting this kind of almost ritualistic, adhering to a call that he's never seemed to have any time for, any thought to. So, and I apply the blood just like pours from I cut major arteries in my forearm, and blood pours into the mouth of this a figure laying here.
Make a rouse check.
Absolutely.
You're losing blood.
I am. 9. So it's success.
Yeah, so your hunger of the beast is not
Right.
gaining control, despite the fact that you are losing blood. It trickles, first slowly, drips and drops, and then it becomes more of a steady stream into the woman's mouth. And you can see her pale, ashen features begin to fill with blood and life once more. And after about half a minute, she grabs your arm and holds it.
Right. And at this point is when I reach out to that human and start draining him simultaneously.
What? Oh my god. I don't even know. What? Totally threw me off guard.
All right.
Run for a hit for her.
So, okay. So what, let's roll brawl and stamina.
Okay.
Because you need to grab him, but you also need to withstand her.
Yep.
What is happening?
Also, I have I've activated my claws, which give me a +2 to brawl. Like, does that imply
You can grab him way more easily with claws.
All right,
just you clink into his shirt, and there's no way he's getting away from you. With the roll.
Well, we'll see how that goes, right? But I appreciate. I got some blood going on here.
Yeah,
too.
brawl and stamina.
These whites as the bloods.
I'm thinking at least 3 successes to stay on your feet.
Okay. This dice is not the greatest. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I've got 1, 2, 4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay. You grab the man.
Mm-hmm. So basically, I want her to have my gangrel blood, but I want to have a. And this is very different than my usual feeding style.
I do. Yeah, it is. Make a rouse check one last time for me. There's a lot of blood happening here.
There's a lot of blood happening. That's a 5, so no.
Okay.
So I've got 3 hunger now.
Your hunger goes up. And it takes all you have not to fall to the ground.
Okay.
At the last, she starts sucking harder and harder.
She's taking blood faster than I can get it back.
Exactly. And as you're about to feel yourself fall to the ground, you don't. But in order to stand any longer, you have to drain this man dry.
So be it.
And a moment later, he just, that last drop, and you all can tell that he sucks that last drop of life from this random human man. Stain, you brought him here. Take a stain.
I did bring him to get drained, but not by Nick.
Doesn't matter. Just seeing the consequences of your choices is going to cause a stain on your humanity. And I don't know. The rest of us will be shocked but stunned.
I've seen worse.
Right. You weren't involved in this, which is a different feeling. The man falls to the ground, and she, as soon as he falls, you wrench your hand away, and her hands fall limp. And she wakes up.
Do you need more?
Her eyes are red. Her teeth, her mouth, these aren't just fangs. All of her teeth are animalistic, like wolves, beasts. That was enough.
I'm going to approach. You okay? Check in on Nick.
Nick is focused on this creature before him.
And her
He
eyes like
doesn't
locked
respond when
onto you. Who are you?
I'm Nick Carducci.
Carducci.
Gangrel.
It tastes funny in my mouth. You are mine now. Yes. And she sits up and looks around. The rest of you, are you two also mine?
I would like to know what that means.
I think I move into a really weird, I move beside her in this kind of well, that's, when she says you're mine now, I'm like, well, that's obviously true. And I just kind of slide in that position.
I believe introductions should be made first. I'll go. I'm Amelia Borden. And I'm not a gangrel like I believe you two are adventurers. It's a pleasure to meet you. Welcome back.
Amelia.
Yes.
What year is it?
It is 2019 on the precipice of 2020. There are things that you can't imagine. And I'm sure you're feeling pulls towards random things.
I'm afraid. How is the city?
Alive for now.
And the forest?
A little bit more at bay because of the city's growth. It might have become much bigger since the 60s. I assume that's when you went to sleep.
Where's Luca?
Oh dear.
Harrison?
Harrison is alive. Luca was murdered by Sabat, masquerading as, what's their name?
Sabat. Who's in charge? What's changed?
Technically, that would be me. Technically.
She swivels on the seat and looks around.
We woke you because we were brought some news by someone who could rival your age. I don't know if you've met her.
Her? You don't prefer to Isaac, then?
No. Isaac?
Who's Isaac?
Isaac?
My rival.
I said rival your age, not your rival.
You have no rival, mistress.
And she brings her hand to your head and there's these claws and she just kind of strokes your head. I have a rival. He used to take residence up by Niagara? Is he still there?
No.
You don't know.
Everyone of your age has been called to something that you might feel a pull towards now.
The only pull I feel is towards war. He still is out there.
The war you shall have.
Still haven't told us your name.
Jessa.
Nice to meet you, Jessa. My name is Rhea.
You're in charge?
Technically.
No, mistress, you are in charge.
I will be in charge.
That's fine. You can have it.
Just looks at your hand. Things truly have changed.
Yes, women can be in charge now.
What are you, a neonate?
No.
How old are you, child?
I'm older than the other two that are here. Not as old as this one. But I've learned things.
If a Camarilla whelp thinks that she can tell me what to do,
I'm not telling you what to do.
I need to hunt. She stands. Assuming Luca still kept their bathing chambers?
Yes, everything is as you probably remember it. I have not touched a thing.
Then take me.
Of course.
She leads it, puts a hand out for you.
I take it.
They walk through the room, just ignoring everyone. Danny's like, what the fuck? This is weird. Her aura.
What's wrong with her aura?
It's just not normal.
What about it is not normal?
She said she rivals Isaac. What the fuck do you think that?
I don't know who Isaac.
Isaac is older than anything. Right? Isaac is like super old.
Who's Isaac?
Not a character.
But who is Isaac?
I imagine, I'm thinking back into the... You're not going off of lore, are you?
No.
Okay, never mind.
You're thinking biblical.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
No.
I went back biblical.
That's fair. I don't blame you.
I reach out towards Danny
Mm-hmm.
with my hands and just like, what's wrong with her aura? I'm waiting for you guys to leave towards whatever the
I'm
bathing-
not leaving.
Oh yeah, I'm
Right,
waiting for
you've
it.
already
Yeah.
He's gone.
Like
Yeah,
there's
no,
like
no.
you
Julie's already
see, I
asked,
think you
too.
see
It
in
was-
Nick, there's like this release of like all that angst is just like gone. Like it's just like total surrender.
It was black.
Which means what?
Normally says something about diablerie, but I don't know. It's nothing I've ever seen before. And Esmeralda, so you've got one hand, so your hand is in Esmeralda's, and you've got the other hand on Danny's shoulder.
I was just reaching out, like open palm to Danny.
And so she kind of mirrors that, and he's like, because as soon as she does that, he's like, what? What? No.
I let go and like pull her hand aside. Just like, should we go?
And she she grabs Danny's hand, and like she's grab his hand.
I do.
And the three of you, as soon as the three of you lock hands, your eyes just, all three of you roll up into the back of your heads. And you see Fiona and Donna in Buffalo. Were you there? Yes, you were.
I was there.
That was your first session. This is before we started the stream. At the hotel. In one of some conference room, and the two of them are sitting with what looks like a young boy, maybe 13 years old, deathly pale, wearing a dirty white tunic and some leather breeches. And then you all come back.
What just
did you just see?
happened?
What did you see?
'Twas Isaac, says Esmeralda.
Was the vision we saw at that time or just that hotel? Just to be for clarity's sake.
I don't know if you know if it was at like the current moment, but it was definitely at the hotel.
Right, okay.
It could be,
I wanted to make sure I wasn't under the impression it was Donna at that moment in time.
it could be Donna
Except
and
I don't
Fiona.
think Fiona was there for that meet for that.
She was not.
Okay.
So you know that
It had to be a different time.
It's current. Maybe not tonight, but you know it's this week. The three of them. And like as soon as Esmeralda says 'twas Isaac, you know she's right.
I look Danny in the eyes and I'm like, we should go. Is this something you expected to deal with or have the capacity to deal with? Because if not, we should leave.
We should leave.
Where is Isaac?
Buffalo.
Great.
With Clan Malkavian.
Great.
And I too must leave.
Danny says that? Or
Esmeralda.
Okay.
I know now where I belong. I'm sorry. I
I'm
must
not.
go.
Thank you for your information.
I'm glad I found my way.
I'm sorry to disappoint all your prophecies, but
You still yet live, fledgling? A princeship may soon come your way, or perhaps another 100 years will pass before that happens.
not at this rate.
She starts walking into the hallway, and as soon as she steps into the shadows, disappears.
Well, that's creepy.
I'm going up the stairs.
But I'm following Rhea with Danny, and I've not let go of Danny's hand. Amelia, you join us, please?
For a moment.
Rhea, he's lost. Don't stay for him. There's nothing left here. That woman, don't. Come on, let's go. There's a car waiting. We'll go back to New York.
I have a car of my own. I can leave anytime I like. I appreciate you buying, but I'm fine. I know Nick is lost. He was never mine to begin with. He was always his own person. But I'm going to go follow. I know exactly where they are, and I'm going there.
So he lets go of your hand, gives you a quick hug, Rhea.
Ha!
Let's go.
That was weird. She taps the back ever so awkwardly.
I can't say.
Well, then I can't stay either, but you do need permission to hug me.
Consent is key.
Let's go! You're taking me out of here.
Yes. Amelia?
I can't help but think that there's something else happening here. Something ancient, something genuinely interesting for the first time in 200 years. And we're going to miss it.
I am.
And I just have to do whatever Danny says.
I don't.
It's been a pleasure knowing you, Amelia.
Oh, can I over presents? Never mind.
Well, you already walked away.
You want to run away? Truly?
Yes. Yeah.
It's a good idea.
But there's so much to be had here. There's so much to be done. What do you want to do elsewhere?
Live.
Paint.
That's so terribly, terribly boring. I wish you would both stay with me and see what we can change here.
If wishes were horses, then beggars would ride. Sorry, babe.
How do I ask to do a certain move here?
You
So-
can ask like I would like to dominate. I would like to presence. Like
Yeah.
I feel like maybe you're dominating.
Yeah, I
stronger.
want them to stay.
Okay.
Oh, she's compelling. Totally.
Can you compel two people at once?
Compelling is definitely like a one-sentence
One.
command.
Oh, all
also.
she has to do is compel Danny,
Yeah.
because then he has to follow.
But Danny's not as manipulable as someone like Nick. Just kidding.
He doesn't have any fortitude. This was my problem at the LARP. This was like, I could presence, but as soon as
There's
someone else did it back
too
to
much
me.
happening here.
God, and
And there's no one else that seems to want to step in
who's
and
really
take
good
control.
at resisting fortitude is my character, except when dealing with like dark gangrel
And
goddesses.
do you...
I also never tried to compel
You all
you.
wanted to
Yeah.
wake this woman up? Well, now you have. You have your weapon, but you don't
So
have a
stupid.
prince.
So,
Yes, we
manipulation plus dominate.
Oh, okay.
You're like,
social roll, so you
fuck
don't
yeah.
have a +1 because you're not a siren.
Yeah, but I have.
she's got shit. She's got all kinds of shit.
And then I'm enrolling intelligence plus
Do you have
resolve.
probably one hunger though?
Fucked.
One of them is hunger.
Well,
Oh, you do need to make a rouse check.
Before I do that,
Yes.
so what?
One
So roll
die.
one die.
Just one, anyone.
Yeah.
See
If it's a
if
6
it's
or
a-
higher, your hunger goes up. Or your hunger does not go up.
It's a 6.
Okay, you're great.
Yeah.
So roll as normal with your one hunger die. It's fine.
we're a new boss.
I have
I was just
3
wanted to be
successes.
3 successes. So defender wins at the moment. He has 3 successes.
Ooh.
Would you like to burn a willpower?
Yep.
You can re-roll up to 3 non-hunger dice.
Right in the heart. What heart?
Stabbed it right there.
It's going to be 2 more successes.
There you go. So he says, if wishes were horses, then beggars would ride. Sorry, babe. And then you say,
No, we're staying.
we're staying.
Oh, good.
There's opportunity here, and we're going to take it. I'm tired of waiting. I've done enough of that in New York. I've done enough of that in England. You wanted to wake this woman up, you did. But none of you have an actual leader yet.
Is she our new leader?
God, I hope not.
We don't really matter. She could be a really
You have a
good
weapon,
gal.
certainly.
She woke up hungry and on a stone. That can't be a good night's
What
sleep.
if she's just great?
You have a weapon,
She's a
but you
person.
don't have a leader.
She's a person, Miley.
So let's cut to
Call me whatever you want.
I would like to get there first.
let's
before they
cut
do.
to this scene where you arrive at the baths, and this is gonna be our last scene. Period. No final moments.
Great. We don't need them anyway.
Or should we do final moments?
No, we don't.
Whatever you
No.
desire.
It's a series finale.
No, we
Final
don't.
Every
This is
desire.
our final moment.
The final
Right.
moment.
Okay. This is the okay.
Like, we can't do final moments without knowing what happens here.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So let's just see what happens. But we are 10 over. So she has like disrobed, like just taken off her clothes, not caring. And she's turned on the bath, and it's filling up with this steaming water. And you're just standing there still.
Yep.
The door's open, and Rhea walks up from behind.
I still have my shotgun, by the way.
Right.
I still have my gun, by the way.
Okay. So as like someone comes in, I like raise.
A meat? Really?
Children, please.
Of course. And I throw I drop the gun in like an embarrassment, like because I realized I couldn't fire it. I still have my claws out.
She steps into the tub and just lays down.
I know you're relaxing and all, but I have some information for you.
Go on.
As Rhea smiles, her fangs glint in the low light. The light steam.
Mm-hmm.
Know where Isaac is. So do the others.
Her head whips to you. You lie. You said you didn't know.
I didn't know then, but there was... After you left, there was a little seance, whatever. They had a vision.
She never lies, mistress. She can tell you what needs to be done.
Tell me, where is my rival?
I need you to tell me something first. Do you
Go on.
feel Gehenna? There's a Gehenna rising in the north, and we need you on our side.
Child, no. Gehenna is a myth.
Gehenna is not a myth.
It is a legend told by our forefathers to try and keep us in control.
Have you heard of Babette?
No.
She's a Semiche, and I'm sure that you've somehow made an acquaintance at some point in your lifetime. My
Mhm.
lifetime.
And?
She tried to kill me once. Anyway, I trust her word. There's something rising in the north that is pushing all of the Sabbat south and also scaring away all of the elders out of the north. The Gehenna rises. We need someone powerful on our side, and I recognize power within you.
You'd be an idiot not to.
She's no idiot.
Thank you.
She can be an ally to you, mistress. if
I
you
also
allow it.
have people rising against me in Buffalo, where your enemy lies as well.
Niagara.
Yes.
Yes. He lies there still.
He's a little boy.
Don't let his appearance fool you.
Wait, they didn't tell me that. Oops, sorry. He's
Don't let his appearance fool you. He looks like a little boy.
Thank you. Well, he's in Buffalo.
Great.
We seem to have alliances.
And tomorrow night we ride. I will destroy him.
Right?
Drive.
I'll alert the limo.
Wonderful. It seems we must still have some senators in our pockets.
Oh, honey, plenty. I just deposited a $500 million check. We're just fine.
Millions? What type of money?
It means less now in 2019, believe me. But not as we're fine.
Don't allow these trifling matters to disturb you, mistress.
Do you trust me now?
What is this one to you?
She was my prince.
I didn't ask you.
He was my most loyal friend.
Friend. The prince has no friends.
He was my sheriff.
Ah.
My most loyal friend.
Servant, perhaps.
No, never. I never forced him to do anything. And I'm sure you won't either.
She stands and just immodest, accepts the towel that you offer her and dries off. And what is it that you wish? A place in my court?
I want to be mayor of New York.
Then leave.
Not without fighting and proving my worth here.
And stay. And you shall serve in my army.
It's not her style, mistress.
She gets dressed, puts back on the shirt, the blouse, and the slacks, barefoot still, and standing there on the cold tile floor. Bend the knee.
Do they come in? They weren't that far behind me.
Are you following behind?
I mean, I'm not. I mean, Amelia was going. I'm not planning to go into the bath chamber.
Okay.
That was not what Danny originally asked me when he used. He said to not leave without him.
Okay. So Danny will go with you. And Esmeralda's gone. She's obfuscated away. So they're walking in behind. Perfect. Bend the knee. Show your loyalty to me, Prince Jessa of Albany. And we can continue on.
How did you know, Luca?
I was visiting one of my grandchildren when I felt the call, torpor. It comes every once in a while when you've reached a certain age. Harrison suggested I stay here. Besides, this state has always been a home to me in some way, shape, or form. And under watchful eye of my grandchild.
Do I still have Harrison's phone number?
Yeah.
I'm texting him, definitely.
I imagine.
I'm saying Jessa's awake.
Yeah, fuck you, Harrison.
We're in Lucas. Whatever.
Got it. Bend the knee. Show your minions that you will abide by my rule. Why don't you show her first?
I have no minions, and I think that's why they chose me as their ruler, is because I don't do that.
I look at her I'm like, you wish me to bend my knee to you?
Kneel.
I kneel immediately. Like my entire being is at your disposal. Asking me to bend your knees, like asking me to bend your own. I'm your tool.
See how easy it is? Follow suit, and we will continue.
Bend your knee. Join this.
I'm waiting for a response on my phone. If it happens, buzz.
Well,
New phone, who dis?
I wouldn't say I'm a tool.
We're all tools. Come on, do what needs to be done. I'm not making eye contact, but I'm staring down like, don't be a fool. This is the opportunity we need. Just do it.
I do feel like I need to learn more about you, though, before I choose you as a leader.
Final moment.
What
Do you bend the knee?
I don't even know if she's Camarilla.
So what do you do?
Are you Camarilla?
How does this end?
Are you Camarilla?
How does this end?
Are you Camarilla?
Yes or no?
Yes.
Zaria shamefully, I don't know if it's
I don't know, shamefully.
Reluctantly
Yeah.
kneels in front of her. Ah, it's good to be awake. And the camera fades out on her smiling face. And that is the end of Albany by Night.
Woo!
Dear viewers, dear players, thank you for participating in this chronicle. It's been a wild ride over the last year that we started this. We were only going to start streaming in January, but we began the Albany by Night Chronicle a year ago in October.
I know.
And I never thought, I'm looking over at Jeff, who was also there, never thought that we would be here tonight doing this. When we started streaming in January, it was a quick 5 episodes to see if we could do in-person live streaming. When we started streaming again last month, it was to support the LARP, which was something that we didn't know we could do and wanted to see if we could do.
And was so much fun.
It was great.
It went well.
That's how we brought this one on. That's how we met Amelia.
Amelia.
Going to cause problems, even though they're off screen now.
I know, right? This always continues on in the world.
As far as next year for ManaPot and these in-person live game streams, it's hard to say. We're still figuring things out. We're troubleshooting. I'm looking at my producers, Jeff and Charlotte, without whom none of this would happen. You do an amazing job, and I'm always very grateful for your work here. Yeah, 100%. Grateful to everyone who has joined us, in this season and the last. And I know that there will be more Vampire to come. It just depends on what form it will take. But with that, yeah, I
It's
know.
getting dusty in here. That's
Someone chopping onions. With that, thank you, everyone. That's it.
That's it.
Thank you, and good night.
Good night.